Live from the Washington, D.C. area, it's the Inside Scoop, all the news that our viewers want to know. Now, here's the host.
Hi folks, Cesar here again. Thanks for joining us. Monday evening, March 11th, 2024. We have a great show tonight. Hopefully you'll stick around for the whole thing because it's going to be great. My first guest is actually a mother with a lot of energy and time on her hand. She's a former professor. She actually got her PhD at Oklahoma University, and she was a former candidate for the Mason District for Fairfax County School Board member. She currently serves for the Stars and Stripes Northern Virginia Committee that serves veterans and first responders. Dr. Ball, Kristin, thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Glad you could be here. Full disclosure, I serve as a strategic advisor. I've made contributions to this amazing cause. It's a just and honorable thing you do. So I wanted to bring you all back on and share what it is you're doing for the veterans and first responders. So first of all, let's start with why the committee. What compelled you? What inspired you?
Well, I met the gentleman who created the committee, and they asked me if I would be interested in working with them. They are former military members, and they told me what their mission is, that they're interested in serving veterans and first responders, and helping that community is important to me. My father was in the Army. My grandfather was in the Army. He served in Germany in World War II. He was only one of two of his troop to come back alive, and so that had a profound impact on my family. So, military service has always been important to me, even though I'm not, directly involved in the military. I feel like my family history has given me that ability to really appreciate what our service members do for us.
Sure, and again, just dealing with it from a superficial level for me, it's been amazing and humbling to just meet everyone that really is involved, but more importantly, the outreach to the community.
Yes.
So how do you think that'll go? What's your vision on kind of taking this thing forward? Because you're a take charge kind of person. So.
Yeah. Well, we have, we started a few of our events last year. We had our first charity golf event, and it was a success. We moved on and did our December 2nd food and clothing distribution. We did a drive the 2 weeks before that. We were able to distribute 26,000 pounds of food to needy people in the town of Herndon. And that really, I think, boosted our excitement and drive to, really continue our mission to help the community. So eventually what we would like to be able to do is to create an adaptive sports program for veterans and first responders who, may have been injured while serving. And creating something like that, I think, would be important because it's something that's lacking for the service members.
So why do you think there's such a need that has, quite frankly, gone unnoticed for so long? I mean, what's driving some of that, you think?
I think that we see the importance and the value of what our service members go through. They put their life on the line for us. And I think that, we have, generated this great pride and interest in helping to give back to them because they have given so much for our country.
Sure.
And there are a lot of veterans charities out there, but I think that ours serves that niche of trying to come up with some kind of an adaptive sports program that it's just is a niche that is necessary.
Yeah, and so what's the biggest challenge you think for the committee going forward? What are some of the things you think you can help drive, steer, or avoid?
I think that our biggest challenge right now is just getting our name out. We're a new organization created last year, and I think that once people know what we're doing, I think that they may, hopefully jump on board and donate or participate in our events. We have several different sporting events that we have scheduled for the year, and so we're hoping to generate some interest in that and really just help the community.
So why the Northern Virginia area? I think I know why, but just in terms of a target area, in terms
Right.
of the demographics.
Right. There's a lot of military bases here. A lot of people retire here. They often retire from the military and end up going into consulting jobs. So that provides us with a solid base of people that we can help throughout Northern Virginia.
And probably the demographics for the donors or sponsors, probably a good thing too.
Yes, we have a lot of large industries here, and hoping to tap into some of their resources in order to, better to better things for our community.
So, in terms of the outreach, what sort of things or channels or things are you leveraging to get the word out there? I mean, because it's a great brand.
Yeah.
Right. So.
We have a new Facebook page and an Instagram, and we've also set up our website, and hoping to get those, setting those up. We've got our upcoming golf charity event that we're hoping to be able to, broadcast through those different channels, and then also just really working with our own networking with our own people that we know. And when we meet service members, we, of course, introduce ourselves and, and invite them to join our organization.
Yeah. I was really unaware, and I guess it's just because we all kind of roll through life and we don't stop and realize, but there's a huge need.
Oh, yeah.
In this area. I mean, as affluent as Northern Virginia is, there's a huge need out there. I was just amazed and felt a little bit ashamed.
Yeah.
Like we don't know.
Right. And through this job, I'm learning about all of the different, organizations. There's some disabled veteran organizations that we're trying to partner with as we work on, expanding what we do as a committee, and hoping to bring them in. And I think that we can have a lot of great partnerships throughout Northern Virginia.
So in terms of success, what does that look like for you? Year 1, year 2, year 5? I mean, where do you see this going for you?
Well, I would say that for our first, our primary interest is, at least for the first year, we need people to know who we are and that we exist. I tell people, oh, I'm the chair of Stars and Stripes Nova Committee, and they're like, well, what's that? So I think that once we get an interest and people start to understand who we are, that we can expand, and we're hoping that through our charity events that we can raise the money that we need in order to eventually set up an adaptive sports program, and that would be probably a couple of years in hopes that we can get enough interest and involvement in our charities that we can expand whatever services we can provide. We kind of feel like, in a way, we kind of feel like we're a little bit limitless because we are going in directions that we think are that would best serve our community.
So you've been chair how long now?
Since August.
Since August. Okay, so it's a good amount of time.
Yeah.
What did you see coming in? What's different now? Any big surprises?
I would say that we were a little bit wet behind the ears at first. I think that the committee was growing as I joined them, and I think we were a little hesitant sometimes about what could we do, how can we do this. But our December 2nd food and clothing distribution was such an amazing event. We had so many people come, and the fact that we as a committee could pull that off with the dozens of amazing volunteers who showed up to help us, that was really a confidence boost for us, because we thought, oh good, we can do this. And so it gave us a boost, and now we're really looking forward to putting several other events together.
Yeah. And are these events going to be like archived, or because that was a huge success? It made the paper.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little bit overwhelming. I mean, 26,000 pounds of produce or something?
Yep. Canned goods from Goya, and some produce from the Washington, D.C. food bank. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was impressive. So if that's your like baseline foundation, you're only going to succeed from there.
Yeah, yeah. And it was a great event. You know, the days worth of bagging groceries.
Right.
But it was so wonderful for people. They were just so grateful on that day. It was a blessing.
And having been there personally, it was in Herndon. What I was really, the insight I gained was, yes, there's a community in need, but there were veterans in need.
Yeah.
And that I still think people need to understand that there are a lot of veterans that need a lot of help.
I agree. Yeah.
Because, you know, locally we can do more, or as a nonprofit, you can probably do a lot more.
Right.
But I just thought that was a really big success for you guys. So.
Yes, a very big confidence booster.
Yeah. So we're again just 5 years from now, 3 years from now, or this year. What are some of the like top things you really want to get accomplished for beyond the brand recognition? Yeah,
I think that we would like to, you know, host a very successful golf charity tournament, and you know, build on that each year, hoping to expand and see what I mean, this is the year we're going to find out what works and what doesn't work, and what do people like and what, you know, what do they want to participate in, and try to find the right mix of different events for people to.
I think that's important because, and I think you've touched on it, and I think that's why you're the chair, because you can have a plan, but it's got to be agile enough to change with whatever's coming at you. So.
Yes, exactly. I mean, we really didn't expect the food and clothing distribution to be so big.
Yeah.
I mean, we got generous donations, and we thought, how are we going to get rid of, you know, is anybody going to come? And just the response was overwhelming. So, you know, knowing that, we can, you know, plan ahead and try to, you know, at least reach that, if not exceed it.
Yeah, the question of will they come or will anyone come, I think that was answered.
It was totally answered.
And I think you were expecting to start at 9 or 10 and 8:30.
Yep, when we finished by noon.
Dr. Ball, thank you so much.
Thank you
for coming. We're going to have another person from the committee on, so appreciate you making time for us, and good luck.
Thank you.
I'm going to be there to support you as well.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Folks, we're going to have a public service announcement and be right back, so stick with us.
Nice going, Spencer. I can't believe we broke Old Man Hennessy's window.
Correction, dude. You broke. I just threw the ball.
This is really bad. What are we gonna do?
We?
Go to the door, ask for the ball back. Are you serious?
It's my ball, Myrtlebeck.
You so dead. I'd run away.
Yeah, to Uruguay.
Kiss your life goodbye. Sorry. Let's go.
See ya. Remember me and your well.
Nice one. Some friends you are.
Keep smiling, keep shining.
Hi. Tell him it was an accident, and we can fix the window. Come on. I'll come with you.
Loyalty. Pass it on.
You go first.
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
One day these rats were playing in the woods. Well, it's a matches and that's no good. Listen to smoke before you give it a try. Only you. Don't play with matches. Don't play with fire. Cause there's nothing very funny about nothing very nice on a homeless mind. So if a gorgeous force is what you desire, don't play with matches. Don't play with fire.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Fire.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again. But an awkward silence can be a great thing, like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
we're back to the Inside Scoop. Here again, your host.
Folks, Cesar here, back with you in Studio C. We've got another guest from the Stars and Stripes Nova Committee, Mr. Matt Kreider. He is the Deputy Chair of the committee, and he is also a fitting team lead at Parsons Extreme Golf. He is a 2020 graduate of Penn State Berks with a bachelor's degree in management and marketing. Mr. Kreider, thank you for joining.
Thank you, honored to be here.
Absolutely. Chair's pretty impressive. So let's talk about how you fit into the committee. I mean, I know, but how do you fit into the committee? What brought you to participate?
Yeah, so I've been on board for about a year now, deputy chair. Truly, this first started honestly through my employment at PXG. Stephen and Philip, who I know you've had on here in the past, our chief of staff and fellow co-chair, they were customers of PXG, Parsons Extreme Golf. And one of my duties as fitting team leader is kind of managing the territory and allocating resources to help with charity golf tournaments. Yeah. And you know, we've developed a relationship like we do with a lot of our customers at PXG, with all of our customers at PXG, and learned a little bit more about their mission and got a better understanding of their vision, what their past was like. Got involved with their first charity golf event at Reston National towards the fall of 2022, and have really been on board ever since. And you know, my responsibilities have certainly grown, and truly couldn't be more excited to be part of the team.
Awesome, awesome. Let's talk about these events because they're a good cause, right? The good cause. We were just talking with the chair a little bit about the December 2nd food drive. And that was amazing. I mean, that just exceeded all expectations, right? I mean,
sure did.
Yeah.
I mean, that was truly the first real food drive distribution that I've been a part of. And I got to tell you, for us being a relatively new organization, new committee at that time, to see the turnout of that sort of event, to see the need, it was really touching, and honestly, it was truly one of the most humbling experiences, you know, of my young life.
That's awesome.
Truly, it was a fantastic turnout. We had lines of folks lined up, ready to go, well before we were even starting, and for that to be our first one. Yeah, I couldn't imagine a better start.
Sure. Well, the next event you've got going on is in May, right?
Correct. So May 24th, it's a Friday of Memorial Day weekend. We'll be hosting our first charity golf event of the year. That'll be held at Herndon Centennial.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very much looking forward to that. Going to be an awesome tournament. Scramble format, truly open to anyone and everyone. You know, anyone that's looking for some fun, gathering a couple of their buddies for a round of golf, donating to our cause, being a sponsor of the tournament. It's going to be a ton of fun. So yeah, very much looking forward to that. We've had a good start in 2022, had a good one last year as well at Reston National. Excited to be at Herndon Centennial this year, and excited for a great outcome.
Well, full disclosure, I hope we keep you at Herndon from here on out. So, but I believe they're going to share the image and the information to the Facebook page and website. But what should folks know, or where can they go to either donate or participate?
Yeah, so we did just launch our Facebook and Instagram within the past couple of weeks. First and foremost, you can like those pages. It's going to be the Stars and Stripes Nova Committee. The Instagram will be at Stars and Stripes Nova. Share that page, follow us with your friends. We also launched our website, so that's going to be starsandstripesnovacommittee.org. From there, you'll see all of our events outlined for 2024, stuff we have in the works. You'll be able to learn a little bit more about the committee, where we're looking to go, more of our committee members in particular, and be able to see all the information for this first event and be able to sign up your foursome through that website.
Great, great. So that's one event. What else you got in the pipeline coming?
Yeah, so working through some logistics on some other stuff. Very much interested in doing a charity bike ride. Partnering with the Green Lizard and their foundation is very important to us, and we're working to have something towards the fall, beginning of fall, around September is the tentative timeline for that bike ride. So looking forward to that one as well. We'll have a Veterans Day fundraiser as well towards the back half of the year around Veterans Day, and closing it out with another food and clothing drive. Very much looking forward to that, as I touched on as we started this segment. I can't tell you how important that is, and when I look at these events, that one really stands out to me the most.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, I have no doubt that you all will succeed and overachieve, quite frankly. I mean, you've got the people, the cause is just and honorable, so sky's the limit as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll see how things come together. As Dr. Ball, the chair of the committee, mentioned, we're very young, we're very new, but our mission is one that's needed. And for those of you that are watching this and listening to this, would love your support. Would love for you to go to our website, learn a little bit more about us, and really join the team. That's what we are ultimately, is a team.
You need volunteers, you need donations, you need sponsors, right?
We do. There's a lot that goes into it. When you look at the types of events that we're running, I mean, speaking on the golf event, there's a lot that we need to put that together, and we're incredibly grateful for Herndon Centennial on Memorial Day weekend there, opening up that golf course. For us is incredible, to be honest. And then from there, it's gathering sponsors and putting the event together and putting on a good show. We really couldn't do it without our sponsors and our volunteers. I mean, again, going back to that food and clothing drive that we had in December, I mean, we had countless volunteers, and without them, it just simply would not have been possible. And that's very much the same for all of our other events.
So here's something to think about, because the first event was such a success. What do people do if they can't get into the golf event foursome, or is there like a waiting list, or can they still donate? Or
absolutely, okay. Yeah. If they go to our website, again, Stars and Stripes, novacommittee.org, you'll be able to donate. If you want to come out and watch the event, take place, we'll have some good food there, and it'll be a ton of fun. So still an opportunity to get involved through donation, or get involved in some of our future events as well. So absolutely.
Well, if you know anyone, I would be happy to drive a golf cart.
Yep.
I'm not a big golfer, so we can still contribute, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, come on out, have some fun. For those that are participating, we're going to have a ton of awesome prizes. Longest drive, closest to the pin, hole-in-one challenge, chance to win a $12,000 bike courtesy of the Green Lizard. So incredibly grateful for that. Putting challenge as well. So it'll be a ton of fun in addition to the team scramble format.
Well, again, this is exciting, great cause. So I think you guys are going to knock it out of the park.
Absolutely. Very much looking forward to it. Opportunity to get involved as well via volunteer. So really want to highlight that piece as well.
So going into next year, do you see, not 2024, but 2025, what sort of event, or if you've planned any or just envisioning, wave the magic wand, where do you see that?
I think it's continue to grow, continue to touch more families in need, right? Continue to provide networking opportunities for veterans, for their families. That's really what these events also serve, is a great opportunity for veterans to come together. And one of the things I'll say is we've done a phenomenal job of taking one event to the next event and learning along the way. That's incredibly important. We're very much all new to this. And if we continue to get better and continue to grow event after event, we'll be in a good spot next year and the years to come. So very much bright things down the road.
I was a little bit surprised, as I mentioned in the previous segment, the need. I mean, there's a huge need out there.
There really is.
I mean, is that, have you resolved that, or meet your expectations, or
I think, again, it's hard to not talk about the food and clothing distribution in December. That really, for me, put everything in perspective. To see the turnout of that, to see how quickly we went through all of that food, all of that clothing.
Yeah.
The need is there, and it's not just this committee that's going to solve that for this area. We need strategic partners to really fulfill what we're trying to do at the end of the day. So we need to work together. You know, the veteran community is very prominent in this area, no doubt about it, and it's an important one. And you know, our motto simply is leave no one behind. So that's truly what we're looking to do day in and day out, and that's what keeps us hungry to do this and put on these events.
So it sounds like there's opportunity to sponsor, to donate, to volunteer, become a member of the committee.
Absolutely.
And so sky's the limit, right?
Sky's the limit. So, always looking to grow. You know, volunteers, again, really can't stress that enough. You know, for those that are interested in getting involved, our website will be the best resource for you. You'll be able to see our contact information there. And again, anyone that's looking to partake and be a sponsor in any of our events, you know, would love to have those conversations and get your company or yourself involved.
How long have you been doing this? You sound like you're a pro at this.
No, I mean, I've like I said, I've been with the committee for just over a year now, and I've been with Parsons Extreme Golf going on 3 years. We are a veteran-owned company. Mr. Parsons served in the Vietnam War, and our PXG for Heroes program is very much at the core of what we do as a company. It's incredibly important
talk a little bit
to
about
us.
that.
So basically, if you are if you're a part of a Heroes program, you're going to either be currently serving, be a veteran, have someone in your immediate family that is, be a first responder. You're going to get special pricing on our product that extends to our equipment and our apparel as well. So for those of you that maybe are interested in partaking in the golf tournament and don't have a set of clubs, you know where to find us at PXG Fairfax. We'll get you taken care of with our Heroes pricing.
And they'll be part of the event as well.
Yes.
Right.
So we are a strategic sponsor. We'll be sponsoring the long drive contest.
Awesome.
Where you'll have an opportunity to win a PXG driver and get custom fit for that. So yeah.
That's going to be pretty exciting for a lot of people then, right?
It is, yeah. I mean, these prizes are the real deal. I mean, like I said, we really couldn't do it without our sponsors, and we really couldn't, you know, do this without the Green Lizard either, and what they're putting forth for that hole-in-one challenge. So,
and say that again. The prize that they're
$12,000 bike, courtesy of the Green Lizard for that hole-in-one challenge. So
that
alone, right?
I mean, and if you don't bike, you can always eBay the thing.
12,000?
Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, I'll take 6 or whatever. Well, that's awesome. It's a pleasure knowing you. It's a pleasure knowing the committee. I think this is such a great thing that you guys are doing, and you have all my support. You've got a lot of people's support, so whatever we can do. I will be driving a cart, hopefully, so if you know people, make sure you let them know it too. So.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate you having me and appreciate your support as well.
You're the best, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Folks, stick around. We've got a special guest in studio coming right back.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Hi, I'm Josh Temple. You might have seen me on TV where I help folks turn their houses into dream homes. But forget construction. Parenting is the toughest job there is. So when you need help or advice, turn to the parenting experts at Boys Town.
I was afraid of that.
Well, guess it's time to get you fixed.
Your pets will start fooling around sooner than you think.
Go on, get out of here!
Accidental litters lead to millions killed in shelters each year. Help prevent more. Fix at month 4.
Food. It nourishes, brings us together, and adds flavor to life. That's why it's important to wash hands, surfaces, and fresh produce. Keep raw meat, poultry, and seafood separate from ready-to-eat foods like fruits and vegetables. And cook to proper temperatures using a food thermometer. Enjoy, and refrigerate leftovers within 2 hours. For more tips on safely preparing foods, visit homefoodsafety.org.
We're back to the Inside Scoop. Here again, your host.
Cesar here, back with you in Studio C. I have a very special guest this evening. Full disclosure, I've donated to her campaign. She's a fellow Peruana. That's always a good thing where I come from. Elizabeth Guzman. She is a candidate running for Congress in the 7th Congressional District of Virginia. She was the first Latina in the General Assembly. She came to the country as a single mom. She is amazing. I wanted you all to meet her. Elizabeth, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I am so excited that you're running.
Oh no, I mean, this is a great opportunity. We have learned, that Abigail Spanberger is not seeking re-election.
Right.
So the seat became open. I lived there for over 2 decades, raised 4 children in the public school system. I represented a district within the Congressional District 7th the last 6 years. I flipped that district red to blue after 26, so I'm ready to hit the ground running.
That's amazing.
So to keep that seat blue, because this district is going to be competitive, but it's going to be key for Democrats in order to regain the majority in the House of Representatives.
Gotcha. So has the district changed precinct-wise or voter-wise, or is it pretty much?
Yeah, so the district is almost majority minority. It's about 49% among all of the minorities who live in that district. Includes the central eastern part of Prince William County, and then it goes, if you go 95 south, Stafford, Fredericksburg, Spotsylvania, King George, Caroline County, and then it goes through the Piedmont area. Through 29, you go to Orange County, Greene, and Madison. So it includes 11 localities. When you look at the map, it's actually bigger than Delaware. So I know about the district because, 2 years ago, when Abigail was running, if you recall, her opponent was Yesli Vega, a Republican Latina. So it was my job, to organize meet and greets, round tables, to ensure that, to show the community who's going to be the champion for us in Congress. So the district have changed, after redistricting and the census. I think from the old 7th district to the new 7th district, it's only 25%. So this is a brand new district. Biden carried the district, Tim Kaine carried the district, Abigail carried the district as well. So we are hoping that by having a candidate who look like the community and reside in the community for a long time, we'll be able to keep it blue as well.
No, I'm with. I think I said it before, but let me make sure, full disclosure, I've donated to you. I think you're amazing. So you're what we, well, it's about representation, right? It really is. And that's true for any representative government. You have to have real representation. So what's that been like in terms of, because I know there's a lot of people that say, oh no, it's not your turn. Oh no, you have to wait. Oh no, we want someone else. I mean, have you gotten any pushback there, or?
This is going to be an opportunity one in a lifetime, so there is now room for to wait for somebody to tell you, oh, you should run. I think that in my case, after working in the General Assembly for 6 years and not being in elected office currently, because my term ended in January 2024 of this year, then I'm not in elected office. So I can make my case to voters that I'm not going to be distracted by, the state legislature at this point. It's really, I'm having a hard time since I was there for 6 years. However, I need to put the work in order to, win the primary. But I think that for people who are out there like you, you know, being the first is a huge responsibility because it is our job to pave the way for other candidates who look like us, you know, to be able to succeed when they decide to run for office. So it's an honor for me, you know, to be the first Latina that is going to run to represent Virginia in Congress, but then at the same time, and I'm making my case throughout the district that I'm going to help those candidates up and down the ballot. You know, when we look at the district, Prince William County is the only county, and Fredericksburg are the localities that are blue. Stafford is purple. It went blue for Tim Kaine, but it didn't go for Abigail. Spotsylvania went blue for Tim Kaine, but didn't go for Abigail. So we have to help all of those candidates down the ballot. In Spotsylvania, they are doing a very good job. They flipped the school board this past cycle. So the support is out there. It's about the message, right? So I think that as a female, as a mother of 4 children, professional, you know, I work in local government in Virginia, in early childhood education, school administration, and the last 10 years in mental health services. I'm making my case to voters that I'll be their advocate in Congress because we want someone from the district who's gonna fight for the values of the working families in the district. So I haven't had any pushback from any constituents. As a matter of fact, I enjoy making my rounds. I represented Fauquier County in the past for the last 6 years, which is red and rural, and the district is 35% rural. So I, you know, when I said that I am going to deliver to the community, I can go and say, this is what I have done in Fauquier County. This is how much Fauquier County has grown since I was elected. So I think I can reflect on my accomplishments, which is helping me to make the case.
Oh, that's amazing. What we're going to get to more of the detail in the next segment, but just on this topic, what are some of the hot buttons for the district that you're hearing?
The district has a huge population of federal workers, state workers, government employees. So right now, having a Congress where we cannot pass a budget is definitely, you know, something that is an issue in the district because we all, I mean, to live in Northern Virginia, we all live paycheck to paycheck. So having that uncertainty that you won't have the money to get paid, and some people say, yeah, but you're gonna get your money eventually. But that is not the case, not having a budget, you know, you have to pay your mortgage, and then, you know, there are contractors that won't get paid, and there's many positions that are funded through the federal government that serve at the state level and the local level. So those positions will be affected as well. Infrastructure, of course, we wanted to, you know, address the inequalities that we have in the district. Most of the southern part of the district on the Piedmont area, constituents complain that when there are resources that come to Virginia, they're all absorbed by Northern Virginia and they never make it to other parts of the district. So there is a huge, you know, desire to have a fighter who's gonna advocate to address those inequalities. And when we talk about inequalities, we talk about public education. And that is a very, very important issue. And the federal government plays an important role because the way that the money is calculated is based on tests still, based on SOLs, and then when the money gets to the state, those are, the money is calculated in a ratio that takes in consideration not only the population, but then also the amount of land in that locality, which yes, so that puts the rural communities in a very disadvantage. So my message is that while I'm in Washington, D.C., I'm going to ensure that every child in the Congressional District 7 is gonna get access to world-class public education, and that is gonna be working with the state legislature to ensure, you know, that we work for everyone, not only those where they get advantage of the current formula. We are in a good position now. Virginia is great for business, so let's use some of that money to ensure, and I want to applaud the efforts for the General Assembly because the budget that they are sending to the governor includes fully funding our public schools, but we need to do more as our population is growing.
So I didn't know that. Great. First thing, test scores still impact that?
Yes.
And what about pre-K or K full day? Is that an issue?
Well,
in the district?
In the district, we work really hard the last 6 years to ensure that elementary schools have a full day kindergarten, so that is not the issue.
Good.
However, when we're looking at the infrastructure, or for example, how the buildings, the schools have been built for so long and they have not been renovated. When we see the teachers, are not paid the same in Prince William County compared to Spotsylvania or compared to Greene County, so we want to ensure that we address those disparities as well. But yes, when we're referring, there are many tests that are federally mandated. So when we talk about SOLs, that is a hot topic for issues, because even my children as of today, Mom, when you're gonna get rid of SOLs? Because there are some that are federally mandated, and those are the ones where the schools earn accreditation in order to get their money.
Yeah.
So those, and
but I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you're at a disadvantage if your community is high in English as a second language, right?
Well, and we have been working hard in the General Assembly to provide those resources. After the last 3 years, this year we finally are sending a bill to the governor's desk to change that ratio from ELL teacher compared to, ELL teacher caseload for ELL students. And, I started that back in 2020, we reduced the caseload, but the immigrant community, and we are thankful for that, are coming to Virginia and decided to get established here and form a family. So then as we do that, that need is growing, so we have to update those ratios for teachers to ELL students.
Wow. Okay.
So that we have to change as well. And then special education, it's very, very important. And if we recall back in 2012, President Obama created the IDEAS program, the IDEA program, that it was for special education. But back in 2012, mental health is not what it is today. So we need to update that IDEA program so the schools can get the right resources. Because then some localities, and then that goes back to the localities. Some localities have the advantage to have the money to invest to address the needs for those children. But some localities where we don't have a lot of population, or where we don't see people who work locally, don't have the same advantage. So another hot topic has been also, the last time I was at King George, is like we are dying for infrastructure. We wanted to work locally. We don't want to travel an hour or 2 hours to Northern Virginia to get a high-paying job. So that's definitely also a need. And the district, due to the proximity to Fort Belvoir, due to the proximity to Quantico and the U.S. Coast Guard, there's a huge amount of military families and veterans. So there's definitely, that need as well. It has been brought up to my attention of one of my constituents in future constituents in Stafford, that, for example, we are not doing enough for children with disabilities, children of military families. So that's something that we can work on. Well,
a lot there, a lot to come back to. I know a group that helps veterans, by the way.
Okay,
they were just here. Folks, this is Cesar. I'm so excited that Elizabeth is here. So we're going to come back and get into some more of her issues, priorities, and initiatives going to Congress. Come right back.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
I got a creak in my neck, limp in my step, cramping in my muscles every time I try to flex. But if you throw me love, I'll throw it.
It's a big responsibility.
Oh, it's huge. I know, it's huge.
And the salary.
Oh my god, yes.
Right?
I mean, like, I was about to move in with my parents, and right before, yeah, so this saved me.
I really believe in you, you know?
Thank you. It's nice to hear that from someone.
These are cool. Did you, what did you?
We're back to the Inside Scoop. Here again, your host.
Hi folks, Cesar here, back in Studio C with my very special guest, Elizabeth Guzman. She is the Democratic candidate running for the Virginia 7th Congressional District. I have donated to her, full disclosure, but she's here because I want everyone to know how amazing you are.
Thank you.
So let's talk about how are you going to keep this thing blue, rolling blue? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that when I reflect, when I flip my district red to blue, one of the things that we were good at is to expanding the electorate. And we were able to talk to communities of color, to talk to young people, immigrants, Latinos, of course. It was exciting to be able to communicate with them in Spanish, and that's something that we're trying to do as well. We know that the Latino community have voted favorably for President Biden back in 2020, 60%, and then in 2022, even better for Terry McAuliffe. The support was 66%, but now we have to be ready to move them to the next level. We want them to participate in the primaries. We want them to know the advantages that they have so they can early vote, that they can register to vote the day of election, that they could vote by mail, that their children, when they are 16 years of age, could pre-register to vote. Thanks to Democrats at the state legislature, and I was proud to cast my vote for every single one of those bills, but that is something that the community don't know. I would say that the community that I represented in Prince William County, they know that I will come every year and ask them, remember there's an election every year in Virginia, and I will go with my report card of the bills that I introduced so I could show it to them what I was doing while I was in Richmond. But now, you know, the challenge is bigger. There are 11 localities, but as I was knocking on doors for Joshua Cole, for Joel Griffin candidates in the Stafford, Spotsylvania, Fredericksburg area, there's a lot of potential out there to be able to bring young voters, to be able to bring minorities, and that's something that I am going to. Spotsylvania, great, also a lot of diversity there, so we're planning to visit all of those Latinos and let them know about the primaries, the immigrant community, so they could participate. I mean, the statistics show that the immigrant community favor Democrats overwhelmingly. So that's now we have to get them to the same level so they can participate and say who the Democratic nominee is going to be. So we will do the same, you know, knock on doors. I love to knock on doors, but, you know, running for Congress is different. You have to fundraise money as well, and there are so many doors to knock. So, but first we need to get the money to communicate, and we are thankful for your contribution.
We'll do more.
For those interested, GuzmanForCongress.com if you would like to help, if you like our message and you would like to support us. But yeah, I think that Abigail did a very good job by working with state electeds within the district, with local electeds in the district, and I'm planning to do the same, you know, and we need to, once we are elected, what we have to do is help turning these localities to blue, and that's my commitment to them. But we need to be on top of every issue because voters wanted to know what you have for them.
So GuzmanForCongress.com.
Yes.
The big issue I'm hearing is, in our community, high rate of teenage pregnancy. So I think for a lot of people, especially women, freedom, self-determination, choice, healthcare, those are big issues. I mean, so, and I know you're passionate about those. So.
Yes, so, you know, it's definitely going to be my #1 top priority, because what we need to do so we don't let the Supreme Court ever do this to us again, is that we have to include it in the Constitution. So it's not going to be up to Congress, it's not going to be up to the president. One is in the Constitution, nobody will remove it. So that's something that I would like to work on once I'm in Washington, D.C. But to me, as you said, it's personal. I was a teenage mom. You know, and I tell my daughters, I have 3 daughters, and I tell them all the time that it was my decision. Nobody told me, you know, I have to have the child. And, you know, growing up in a conservative society with parents who were, you know, very conservative, I was proud that they allowed me to do what I wanted to do. They don't force me to do anything. But then what I tell my daughters is that it requires a lot of sacrifices, you know, the decision that I made. So as I go and visit the district and talk to voters about this issue, I like to have these conversations with parents as well. When, I mean, it's a hot topic for the Latino community, but I share my experience with many parents, you know, Latinos who are probably they don't want to talk about the issue, but I share my story. I invite them to have a good communication system with their daughters so they know more about what they are doing, so there are ways to prevent a pregnancy. Because at the end of the day, it should be our decision when we are ready to have a baby and when we are ready to form a family. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a top issue. And now with, you know, the presumptive nominee Trump and the governor of Virginia, and we have seen how Republicans are even flip-flopping on the issue. We have to be spot on, don't compromise our values, and fight for what women want, which is reproductive freedom.
Yeah, and it's all tied together, right? The healthcare, the education, that all happens together for a reason. There seems to be a lot of misinformation. As free as our society is, there's a lot of disinformation. So I think the more you can educate people, the more you can enlighten them, the more choices they have, they'll make better decisions.
Yeah, right? And you know, what I tell voters is that this election is going to be about protecting our freedoms. You know, our freedoms to get access to good quality public education, our freedom to vote, our freedom to have reproductive rights. But, you know, Republicans have talked about defunding Social Security, defunding Medicare, so we have to protect that too. And since they don't have the support that they want on that issue, then they are creating this new market on Medicare, you know, which is Medicare Advantage, where they are trying to privatize Medicare as well. So there is, you know, my heart is that healthcare is a human right, you know, and not a privilege. So while being in Washington, D.C., I will ensure that we expand access to healthcare to make it more accessible, to make it more affordable, rather than what Republicans are doing.
Yeah, I don't, look, I'm a capitalist. I think it's great, but a for-profit healthcare delivery system just cannot work. And I don't know where it's ever worked in the history of mankind. If someone has an example, please enlighten me, because they're incongruent. You can't have, that's why it's got to be some sort of program like a Social Security where it's the best for the most people. It's not perfect, it will never be perfect, but it cannot be privatized for profit. That's just not a good thing.
And at the end of the day, it's our money, right? So we need to get a say on the decisions that are being made. And, you know, I think that as we are traveling the district, there are many people, I mean, once again, at the state legislature, we have made a great job expanding the access through Medicaid expansion, and that's actually how we flipped 16 seats back in 2017. However, you know, the fight is not over. We need and then as we talk about the U.S. being the leader in the world, right? So, and when we're talking about healthcare, Mexico already have healthcare for everybody. Canada has healthcare for everybody. So what about us? So that's something that we are going to have to just bring us on that issue so we can expand that access for more people.
I know you're going to be fighting for that. What's the other hot topic, and that'll make your top 3 to-do list?
I think infrastructure, is definitely the areas going from Prince William County to Spotsylvania are growing at a fast pace. And despite us having in Prince William County more population than Loudoun County, we don't have metro, for example. So that is something that I would like to champion, bringing more transportation resources. When we talk about bringing the metro to Quantico, people in Stafford, or to Stafford County, people get excited. We shouldn't be proud to get the worst bottleneck in the country. It's going to require, of course, a coalition of working with the state government and working with local government to make that a reality, but that is what the community wants. When we're talking about bringing stadiums to Virginia, but we don't have a strong infrastructure in transportation, and unfortunately, President Biden has been doing a good job sending infrastructure money. However, this governor is politicizing that money and is sitting on the money. And since he, is changing tax reforms, the money that was supposed to go to public education and transportation, he's using the infrastructure money to fix potholes in the community. So that we have to hold them accountable for that. And while he is there, work with him to address the need of infrastructure in the district. We have to create more jobs. There has to be more resources for farmers. The district, as I shared earlier, is 35% rural. Therefore, farmers, they are seeing that their children are not coming back. So how we're gonna help them to stay in business? And let's be clear that when we talk about Virginia being good for business, the #1 industry among businesses is the agro business industry. So we need to put the resources in place for them. So we should be talking about doing more grants for them so they could stay in business. We should be talking about using our ports to export our produce, to other countries. So equip them with the tools that they need so we can continue to, the agribusiness industry continue to be #1.
I hear Virginia makes good wine, so let's start exporting some of that. I think you have the makings of a powerhouse. You will succeed. I wanted to have you back on and share your story, because I think you have a uniquely American story. Coming here, making a mark, and then now you're running for Congress, or in a primary for Congress.
Yeah, well, it's this country has shown me that anyone who's willing to sacrifice and work hard, will be able to achieve the American dream. And I like to share that across the district, mainly when I talk to young people, when they are saying, oh, it's so hard to go to school. And I say, I did it. Well, I work full time and raise my children. So if I did it, you can do it too.
Well, your daughter should be very proud of your mom. That's GuzmanForCongress.com, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We will see you on the next round. Appreciate you being here. Enjoy the evening. And check out Elizabeth.